Greetings, everybody. I hope that everyone's good. We're now having a look at pick and pay stores, and we have the monthly chart open. And on this particular chart, we can see that the market had given us a very nice M structure over here, which has a neckline more or less at that point. And we can see that in regards to this particular M structure, the actual structure has played itself out. The reason why I say so is because it started at this point, went up, gave us this very nice M structure, and then I believe that at this point over here is where we should potentially be looking for those buying opportunities. Why do I say so? That is because, guys, if you look, this area over here is a very strong level of support, and number two, the structure over here, which is an M structure, has played itself out because it started at that point and it seems to have ended at that point. Having said that, guys, as much as I'm saying that at this point over here we should potentially be looking for those buying opportunities, just bear in mind that whenever it comes to these M structures where we have the neckline being broken to the bottom side, ideally what we expect is for price to head back to the neckline, and at the neckline is where we look for potential selling opportunities. That's where we look for potential selling opportunities. So what I'm saying in other words is that if you do indeed find an opportunity to buy at this point, I believe that your first take profit should be this level over here, which is the neckline of this M structure. And should price go back to the neckline and break it, just wait for it to head back to the neckline to test it again. And at this point is where you would look for those potential buying opportunities, and your next take profit should be around this level over here. Why do I say that level? That is because, guys, remember, whenever it comes to these M structures, a lot of traders and investors usually sell on the second leg of that M structure, and they place their stop losses just above, right? So there's a lot of liquidity stuck at this point, and that liquidity represents money that needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another. Another thing that I see in regards to the monthly chart that is also very much important is the fact that we have these two candlesticks over here, right? These two candlesticks are liquidity candlesticks, and they are very much similar in that they too are carrying liquidity, and this actually tells us that indeed there is plenty of scope for the market to push even further up, and not only to grab the liquidity that's stuck at this point, but also the liquidity that's stuck at this level as well, right? So as I said, guys, at this point we should be looking for potential buying opportunities, Anyway, I'm just going to add a neckline for that M structure because it's very much important, as it's not only the neckline of this M structure but also a very strong level of resistance. So there we go. And then from here I'm just going to head down to the weekly chart, and let's have a look at what's happening on the weekly chart. On the weekly chart we can see that already the market seems to have started to give a reversal of sorts. Nonetheless, I don't think that this reversal is confirmed as yet. Anyway, let's continue. What else do we see, guys, here? Here I don't see much really, although I just want to point out that as much as we have that big M structure that I spoke about earlier, just bear in mind that we also have a triple top at this point, which also has a neckline at that level. So what I'm saying in other words is that even if price comes back and closes above this level, comes back to the level to test it, and then pushes up, as much as I said that there's a lot of money stuck at this point, what may possibly also happen is that the market may reverse at this level. Why do I say so? That is because triple tops are very much similar to M structures, in that whenever we have the triple tops and the neckline has been broken to the bottom side, we want to see price head up to the neckline to test it, and at that neckline is where we normally look for those potential selling opportunities, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Let me just actually add this actual neckline of this M structure, or this triple top rather. There we go, right? Yeah, and then from here I'm just gonna head down to the daily chart. Let's have a look. What do we see on the daily chart? I'm mostly interested in this area over here in terms of what's happening there. Remember, earlier we spoke about how this level over here is a very strong level of support, right? And if I can just zoom in, guys, we can see that the market has given us a very nice W structure at this point, right? And remember, guys, just like with M structures, whenever it comes to these W structures, we want to see price breaking above that neckline, and then after doing so, coming back to the neckline to test it, and at the neckline is where we would look for those potential buying opportunities. So we can say that the neckline of this particular W structure is more or less at this point. And before buying, what we need to do, in my humble opinion, is to wait for the market to head back to this level to test it. And at this point is where we would look for those potential buying opportunities. I'm emphasizing the phrase potential buying opportunities. I'm not saying that we're just gonna buy by virtue of just having price come back to the neckline. I'm gonna look for more reasons and further confluence for why at that level we should be buying for, or rather we should be looking for those potential buying opportunities. I'm just gonna add a neckline for that structure. There we go, right? There we go. And as I said, guys, the best thing to do is to wait for the market to head back to the neckline to test it. And at this point is where we would look for those potential buying opportunities. And I believe that our first take profit should be this level over here. And our next take profit should be, let me just zoom out a bit, should be this level over here, which is where we have the triple top, or rather, which is where we have the neckline of the triple top. And our third take profit should be around here, and that's because we have a lot of money stuck at this point, right? Anyway, that is it, guys, as far as my analysis goes of pick and pay stores. However, I just also want to point out that, remember, we also have this candlestick over here. It is a bearish candlestick with a small body and quite a long lower wick, and what that tells us is that there's a lot of money stuck below, and we might potentially see price actually come back again to this level to test it and to also grab that liquidity, and we might then see a potential W structure. Can you guys see that? We might then see a potential W structure. So that is it, guys. I hope my analysis makes sense, and peace out.